In 1922, the Automobile Club of Milan created their answer to Brooklands and Indianapolis. Ever since, Monza has played host to countless chapters in Italy's extraordinary racing heritage. Much has changed in Grand Prix racing over the years, but thanks to sim racing, this incredible car and classic track combination remain immortalised for racers all over the world to enjoy. Welcome to Grand Prix Legends, live from the Temple of Speed, Monza. I'm Peter Mackay, and I am privileged to be joined in the booth by my fellow Speedy Scot, Ryan Walker. Behind the scenes is our director, Sean Ambrose, using camera angles perfected by Dougie Beard. Now, there is so much to learn about this beautiful facility here in Italy, so here's our Global Sim Racing Channel track guide to tell you a bit more about it.
Welcome to Monza. This track has a major place in racing history, not just for the legendary races, names, and cars that have been here, but because it was the third purpose-built car racing circuit in the world. It's often discussed and reverenced among fans, and especially by Italians who have nicknamed it the Temple of Speed. In fact, the Ferrari fans here are so famous for their devotion that they have been dubbed the Tifosi and never fail to show up in droves. While the real world offers only 3 feasible layouts to race on due to safety, in iRacing, the inclusion of the oval and the lack of safety concerns gives it a stunning 9 versions drivers can choose from. The modern GP layout is of course the most well-known, with its long history of hosting the Italian Grand Prix. But the oval and combined circuits allow those who thirst for more speed to satiate that craving with its insanely high banking. Indeed, incredible velocities are a staple of just about every version you can race here. Draft battles are not uncommon, no matter which car you're racing. But the inclusion of the chicanes makes using an outbraking maneuver a much more tricky way of overtaking. The circuit is notorious for drivers getting tangled up with each other while running side by side in these slow and cumbersome corners. In fact, one of the greatest dangers for drivers is the first few laps when the field is still clumped together and attempting to navigate them 2 and 3 wide. While there are other modern circuits with high-speed straights, the fact that Monza sits inside the Royal Park just north of Milan and is still tightly lined with trees heightens the sense of speed here. All in all, Monza is unmatched in its history, thrills, and great racing. Its significance in motorsports history and culture is sure to be unchallenged for years.
So there you have it, one of the most historic venues anywhere in motor racing. Ryan, it's an absolute pleasure to have you back in the commentary box here on the Global Sim Racing channel. We're back for a brand new series of the Grand Prix Legends Championship here on iRacing, and what a place to start. Tell our viewers about the specific layout that we're going to use today.
It's good to be back, Peter, especially alongside another Scot as such as yourself. We're the first round of the Grand Prix Legends, the new season is taking place at Monza, but there's a little bit of a twist to it. It's not the traditional Grand Prix circuit, if you like. We're going for a bit of a modern layout, but historic layout as well. Today we will be using a bit of the Grand Prix layout, but also with a twist, we've got that bank end. So expect plenty of fast, exciting racing, and the drivers trying to go side by side. Are also that final part or the exit of the bank end, just be careful because you've got a little bit of a bump, so if you take that ever wrong and you get a bit of airborne and you're basically out of control, and there's only one way you're going to go, and that's into the barrier or end up in a crash most of the time. But the track has got 11 turns and it is 6.213 miles in length, and I have to say, Peter, I'm very excited about the first round, especially as this layout today, and we should get in for a cracker.
We absolutely are, and as we can see, we've got a lot of the stalwarts of the Grand Prix Legends paddock joining us today for this opening round of this 12-race championship. But let's have a look at how the race stacks up and what the drivers are up against today. The main thing about this here in the Grand Prix Legends series is the open setup. This is the Lotus 49 that was built in 1967, a purebred Grand Prix machine, and thus it has a lot of adjustability that the drivers can play with. So the drivers who have really dialed their car in, and especially on this very, very fast layout, the gearing particularly is going to be absolutely crucial for these drivers. 15 laps from a standing start. Now, the drivers, if they exceed 17 iRacing incident points, they will receive a penalty. But Ryan, if they get to that point, usually their car is in a mangled mess by that point. So incident points shouldn't be too much of a concern.
Yep, absolutely. And especially with the final sector, if you like, being really close, or the home straight kind of being really tight, it's drivers are going to have to be very careful and think about those incident limits, like you say, and just basically think of the long game.
Indeed, yeah, this is going to be a race of attrition, even for the very experienced drivers in this championship. This is one of the toughest circuits anywhere on the iRacing service. It's so quick, but as Ryan, as you alluded to earlier, when you come off the parabolica, off that flat out banking, which is very, very bumpy, and then you come onto the actual permanent racetrack. Right here, there's a jump, look at that. So you really need to be on top of the car and be ahead of the car, because once it gets into a bit of a tank slapper, it's too late by that point. So let's have a look at the points from last season. So Rafael Dorado, it really was, from mid-season on, it was a march to the championship for him. Rob Olenek actually finishing just ahead of Mick Claridge in the championship standings as well. Of course, Mick had to miss a number of rounds due to other out-of-sim challenges, shall we say, with Alessandro Parigi in 4th and Yuri Geisen 5th, but hopefully we'll see Mick back for the full season this time out. Togo Hisada was the runaway Formula 2 Championship champion, with Andrew Schumacher 2nd, John Olsen 3rd, Dave Cohn 4th, and Emmanuel Pereira in 5th place. In the Nations Cup, it was the United Kingdom who just edged out Brazil, with United States in 3rd. A very, very close fought championship there in the Nations Cup, with Italy and Finland in 4th and 5th place. Ryan, who are some of the names that our viewers will need to keep an eye out for in this Grand Prix Legends season?
There's quite a few names that are returning, or maybe some names that are joining the series as well, but the regular drivers that this season anyway will need to keep an eye on, I think, anyway. You've got the usual suspects. You've got Mick Claridge, you've got Yuri Geisen, you've got Rob Olenek, and there's a couple of drivers that could be there in the background that could spring a shock. You've got the likes of Roman Papslewski, who's always been quick in this series, so he could be one to keep an eye out on. And also, I don't know, maybe just something about it. I think Bill Tyler could be there as well.
Fantastic. Well, if you just look at this, we're looking at Mick Claridge, one of the all-time greats of the Grand Prix Legends paddock here on the iRacing service. He's laid down a 2 minute 17.6. Ovi Trengere just a 10th off the pace right now. Very, very impressive indeed from the Norwegian. Now, these cars, these are super, super quick. They only weigh just over 500 kilograms. For reference, about the same as a Caterham 7. So they're very, very light, but they've got a lot more horsepower than a Caterham 7. About 400 horsepower from this Cosworth DFV V8. And this was actually the car where this Cosworth DFV engine was debuted in Grand Prix racing. And the cars today, expect them to exceed 210 miles per hour. Absolutely breathtaking speeds, and likely to be the fastest speeds we see all season long, Ryan.
Absolutely, and especially around today, around Monza, with that banking being used as well. Don't be surprised if you see drivers carrying loads of speed, or basically getting up to really high speeds on the home straight. As also returning to the series as well, I just noticed during qualifying, as a regular driver used to race quite quite a while ago. It was France Michel Dudignon.
Yeah, brilliant to see Michel back. Now, what can Rob Olenek do? Back with the traditional tiger print on his Lotus 49. Will he have tiger feet today? Let's see. Now, a number of the drivers. So we see Rob Olenek about to start his flying lap now. Oh, and he got back straight out of it. So it looks like we could be about done here, Ryan. Ovi Trengerade does not improve, and Mick Claridge does. A 217.541 for him. So looks like we're about to be close, but can Severi Seppa do anything about it?
Yeah, it's coming up to the line now, and it looks like he improves. A 218.4, that should puts him up into the top 10.
So let's see you get Yuri Geisen over the line. The man from the Benelux region. Just under 2 minute 19. Roman Pawlowski as well does not improve on his time. What can Jack Hobbs do? He's going to run out of time, so he'll start from the back, will Jack Hobbs. Not an easy circuit to qualify on here, Ryan. But let's have a look at the grid for this opening round of the Grand Prix Legends Series. Mick Claridge starts from pole position, edging out Ovi Trengerade by less than 0.2 of a second. Going to be a great battle there. Row 2 sees Bill Tyler and Rob Olenek. Row 3 will be Michel Dudignon and Xavier Sanchez starting from 6th place. Row 4 will see Dave Price and Dave Shepherd. And row 5, Severi Seppa and Togo Hesada. Ryan.
Starting in 11th is Gary Teo alongside him, Antonio Arias from Portugal. 13th is Topi Cortinemi. 14th is Yuri Geisen with Marco Kika in 15th, Chris Marikami is 16th, and Roman Pawlowski surprisingly only down in 17th. Will McDonald in 18th with Chandler Pellerito in 19th, and rounding out the 20 is John Olsen.
Starting on the 11th row will be Gwendolyn Old and Robert Plumley. Row 12 will see Colin Bentley. No time set for Colin. He'll need to come through the field. Jan Hoffman will start 24th, followed by Laust Olsen, another quick man. Jack Hobbs starting from 26th on the grid. This is going to be a busy motor race here at the Temple of Speed. We wait for the last couple of drivers to line up. Isn't that a sight? A whole row of Lotus 49s poised, ready to go for a brand new season of Grand Prix Legends racing. This is going to be an absolute cracker. Mick Claridge on pole position in the number 3 machine, that yellow and black car. Ovi Trengerade in the number 6 right alongside him. The lights go up. We're about ready to go racing. And a new season is go in the Grand Prix Legends Championship. Off we go then, here at Monza. It's a brilliant start from Mick Claridge. Ovi Trengerade gets away in second, and straight onto the Parabolica they go.
Yep, it looks like actually everyone's had a pretty clean start so far as they come into the first part of this banking. And look at the sight of these Lotus 49 cars, just so majestic.
Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. And here comes Trengerade already. He's got the run off the Parabolica, and he blasts past Mick Claridge like he's standing still. Now, that is quite interesting to get that much of an advantage. Maybe a slight wobble for Claridge as we are just... Woof, they all come around. Now watch for the jump here. Now watch for the cold tyres. Is there going to be anyone fall foul of this? No. Fantastic stuff from all the drivers there. That is not an easy section at all. And here comes Claridge once more. No chicane, remember, so straight through. Drafting past. There goes Claridge.
Yeah, Claridge managed to get the overrun and use that slipstream to his advantage and retake the lead as they're coming up to basically not the first of the chicanes, kind of like a high-speed shortcut, if you like.
Oh my word, that is take a deep breath in through there, and then somehow you got to get on the brakes really hard for the first Lesmo, and absolutely first-class motor racing from all of the front pack there, because Ryan, I don't think we can quite stress enough just how high speed they're braking from there, and should we say the Girling brakes on these cars are primitive, shall we say?
Yeah, they're very kind of sensitive in a way when you're basically braking from high speed. the car can be a bit sensitive, and if you brake too hard, the car can bite and it can snap on you.
Yeah, very easy to do as well, because the braking performance is so, well, basic, shall we say. It's you've got very long braking zones, so you almost want to squeeze the pedal harder and harder, but you've got to kind of resist that temptation and avoid the lockup. But round they go then to complete the first lap. As we can see, we're coming down through the other side of the sort of green barrier as well. This reminds me of the World Rally Championship round that was there just a couple of weeks ago. Riding on board with Rob Olenek, a series veteran, and you just see, look at the suspension travel there. When you get up onto the banking, go as high as you dare. And this, you can see where the Automobile Club of Milan got their influence from, because it's just like Brooklands. And look at McClarridge standing still, and look at that. Ovi Trengarade blast straight by again.
Yep, Trengarade using that slipstream like I was talking about McClarridge, using that to his advantage now, and he takes the lead back. But waiting in the wings is Rob Olenek, and these top three guys have managed to pull away slightly from Bill Tyler behind, who's under attack from Michel Dunion and Dave Price.
Here comes Claridge again once more. It's an action replay of the first lap, but look who's right on his gearbox. It's Rob Olenek, and woof, straight goes by past Olenek, and Trengarade goes from first to third in a matter of moments. Through they go then towards this to miss out the what would be the second chicane, and oh my goodness me, that reminds me of playing some of the old Formula 1 games in the 90s where you could cut the track and it didn't know you'd done it as well. That's what it reminds me of.
Yep, as they're coming through the second Lesmo now, and the top three did pull away, but it looks like Tyler, Dudion and Price, and I think in the background as well, Gary Teal have managed to close back up to the top three, so the slipstream proving to be a factor around here.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The slipstream is absolutely huge, and you know, with the higher up the gears they get, the more that slipstream can make an effect. But first class motor racing here at Monza from Claridge, Olenek, Trengarade, Tyler, Dudignon. There's actually pretty much a constant train all the way back outside of the top 10. And be careful on the brakes there. Rob Olenek nearly torpedoes the back of Mick Claridge, and that's really killed his run off the, shall we say, the modern Parabolica. And that might just give Mick Claridge that little bit of a comfort break, which will be very much welcome, as Rob Olenek still sets the fastest lap of the race and then eclipsed by Bill Tyler. 2:17.0, that's qualifying pace.
Yeah, that's just unbelievable. It's some of that can be down to slipstream, but also the other side of it can be down to just basically because of such high speeds that they're going at, as it looks like Rob Olenek is going for the move up the inside of Mick Claridge.
Brilliant stuff there from Rob Olenek. Kind of made that look easy. Now, I think, Ryan, that Rob Olenek's maybe just got the top-end gearing of that car optimised for that part of the circuit. Now, and it seems that in the kind of middle part of the circuit that Claridge has maybe got a slight advantage there. Of course, any setup is a compromise, but we'll see how that one plays out over the motor race, as already 3 laps down as they charge down towards bypassing where the first chicane would normally be, and Olenek desperately trying to defend from Claridge.
He is, and yeah, it's a good point you bring up about the gear ratio as well. I know that some drivers, they like to set up with a short gear ratio. Other drivers like to set up with a long gear ratio, just in case they're in the slipstream and it doesn't hit the limiter. So yeah, it's a good point you bring up, as Olenek is back into the lead, but Claridge is not letting him get away. But still, this pack is still relatively large as well. You still got Tyler, Dudion, Dave Price, and I think in the background as well, another person joined the battle. It looks like Roman Pawlowski.
Yep, we have, Roman Pawlowski is there. So it's a 7-car breakaway here at Monza, and what an amazing sight. That puts the hairs on the back of my neck up, I have to say, Ryan. This is extraordinary stuff. I mean, what I always say at nearly every broadcast, if you're brand new to sim racing or you're just getting into sim racing, the great thing is you can load up this circuit in this car and have a go and see what these drivers are capable of and get a great comparison to what they're doing. And I have to say, I did that this morning, and I am just in awe of the driving prowess that we're seeing so far today, with Rob Olenek leaving over the stripe as we go into lap 4.
Yep, coming across the line, and it's like you say, still leading, but Mick Claridge is getting closer and closer in that slipstream, and yeah, I'm interested as well. These guys seem to take the top line as well, and I did hear if they taking the top line, it seems to be the quickest way around the bank, and also there as well, Roman Pawlowski just putting the fastest lap of the race.
Look at here comes Trengerade. Trengerade has got a big run. He's right on the gearbox of Claridge, but you have to watch out for Tyler. Well spotted, Ryan. But Claridge is, now this is really, really interesting. Claridge is defending very, very well. He clearly doesn't have, well, I don't think he's got quite the car set up for the optimum on the banking, but it doesn't matter if he can show the racecraft to block the path, and then when it gets into the rest of the circuit, he's got a quick race car. So, but here goes Trengerade, Olenek, my apologies, with Trengerade right on his gearbox, right on his back tyre. Look at this is so tight. Oh, this reminds me of Jackie Stewart's first ever Grand Prix win as well here at Monza. Wow, this is just fantastic stuff as Rob Olenek leads down to what would be the second chicane. And this is, I mean, getting the car to turn there, that is just extraordinary.
It is, and it's every time they come through that high-speed chicane, if you like, I just have my breath because I keep thinking there's going to be a huge accident, but absolutely fair play to these guys. And it gets a little bit skitsy on the exit of the second lesson one. That means that he's under attack from Mick Claridge.
Yeah, I think maybe Claridge definitely running a shorter gear ratio, I'm pretty sure. He's just got that little bit more boogie off the corners and then a little bit less on the top end. So, interesting that Claridge going for that slightly more raceable, slightly more, should we say, conservative setup perhaps as well, and allowing him to get off the corner that little bit quicker. As here we go. Oh, isn't it great to have this back, Ryan? Cosworth DFV cam, my favourite.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm just glad that the Grand Prix Legends series is back, because I've missed the Colin the action, and yeah, this is why, because we've got action going on at the moment. Mick Claridge has got the run on Rob Olenek, and he's going to go for the move, and again, retake the lead.
Oh, and it's narrow down there as well, isn't it, as well? But, interesting, you see Claridge there just backed out a little bit, and Olenek had the legs at the top end, so I think he's got to be running taller gear ratios, surely. We'll hopefully get a chance to have a chat with him after the race. Don't go anywhere after the race. We'll have post-race interviews with the championship protagonists as we see, oh, look, here comes Trengerade now with the number 1 of Doudignon right behind, and you got to wonder, obviously it's been the top 3, Olenek, Claridge and Trengerade, but there's a supporting cast of Doudignon, Tyler Price and Roman Pawlowski who are right there as well, and they just seem to be biding their time, Ryan. They could be keeping something up their sleeve for later in the race.
Yeah, I think the likes of Tyler Price, free wide down the home straight.
I'm glad I had my mic closed there, that's all I'll say. Oh my. 1/3 of the race gone. This is absolutely superb. Let's come back here for 12 weeks. This is fantastic stuff as Claridge shuts the door in the face of Olenek there, with Trengerade just behind in the number 6 car. Wow, and Doudignon now starting to look a little bit racier, with Price in the number 9 car really laying down some hot pace there as well, and actually nearly running into the back of Doudignon. The respect, Ryan, I think this is the best possible advert you could have for this series, is the respect and the skill combined between these drivers.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've been calling the accident on the series for ages, and it's probably one of my favourite series to call, because like you say, there's great respect between the drivers. The races are hard but fair. There's plenty of camaraderie among the drivers as well, and yeah, like you say, this is a great advert, and anyone that's thinking about getting into the series, don't hesitate, join it.
Absolutely, couldn't echo that anymore. So let's leave the leading battle just for a brief moment, because there's still more going on behind here with Bill Tyler now, and Pawlowski is, oh dearie me, Pawlowski nearly runs into, no, my apologies, that's Severi Stepa, nearly goes into the back of Sanchez. Sorry, just my mistake. Oh dearie me, that was very, very close. Severi Stepa nearly ploughing into the back of Sanchez, and Chris Murakami out there as well. He's in 10th with Teal McDonald and Cortinemi right behind. So there's packs emerging all the way around the circuit. Who's that going for an inside look at the Parabolica on Murakami? That's Teal having a look there, but didn't quite get it done.
Yep, he didn't manage to get the move done, but we've got battles up at the front, we've got battles in the mid-pack as well. As back up at the front, it's this battle for the lead is still not died down, and this pack is still really close together. And I have to agree with you, Peter, regarding earlier with the likes of Tyler and Pawlowski. I think they're just playing the waiting game and just maybe waiting to see if these guys up at the front slip up.
Absolutely. I'd imagine that depending on the personality of all the drivers involved here, I can imagine half of them have got the biggest grin on their face and half of them are sweating a bathtub worth of perspiration right now, because this is just frantic stuff. Look at Claridge going to the defensive line. This is close. Oh my word. What a move from Dudignon. And Claridge did have to be a kind of shall we say, a willing partner there to just give that little bit of room. But what a move from Dudignon. But he's run a little bit wide. And here goes Claridge, and he gets the boogie off the corner and takes the lead back. Brilliant stuff. And that allows Olenek and Trengarade to get a bit of a run here. Will they be able to get back on Dudignon as well?
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if Dudignon's took his brave pills or if he's had a couple of bottles of wine, but that was a brave move.
My word. Whatever it is, I want some of it, that's for sure. Fantastic. 10 laps to go here at Monza. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. As Dudignon now goes up to the inside, thinks better of it, moves on the brakes. I tell you what, I'm sure the rear exhaust might have been a little bit up the front nose cone there of Dudignon's Lotus, but there goes Claridge. Let's see if Claridge can get that little bit of a yes. In the early acceleration phase, you look at number 3, Mick Claridge, riding in front of us right now, just got that little bit of an advantage, but then when the slipstream starts to come in, that is where Claridge just starts to fall back a little bit. But Michel Dudignon, you can see him, he's trying to think, where can I get by? But Claridge is so wise, so careful. But here goes Dudignon now. Is he going to try it? No, backs out of it. That's interesting, Ryan.
Yeah, I thought he would have went for the move, but look who's took advantage of that is the Norwegian Trengarade.
Trengarade has got that car trimmed. He has got those gear ratios as long as they'll go, certainly longer than his competitors, because he just blew by there. And you know what? Before the finish line, that's going to be really important for Trengarade, I think, to get that little bit of line. But now here comes Claridge with Dudignon on the gearbox, no. And Trengarade in there as well. Oh, this never works. Oh my goodness. I can't. I don't. I'm having kittens here, Ryan.
Oh, you're not the only one. Free wide. Every time I see them go free wide, I just hold my breath and hope for the best, because this is a great battle, but I just have a feeling, I don't want to jinx it, I just have a feeling it's something bad's going to happen.
Anyone watching who doesn't think that sim racing is real racing, I refer you to this. This is just absolutely first-class motorsport in any form. If you've got a friend who is not convinced, show them a clip of this race and they will sure to be convinced. This is absolutely exemplary performance from everyone in this top 7 group. But here goes Claridge again. Claridge is the one doing all the heavy lifting here with Dudignon as well, but Dudignon goes through. Dudignon, gets a big old lift there over the curbs at Ascari. You need to be careful not to do that too much.
Mick Claridge is going for the move now. He's got the run, but he actually decides he doesn't go for the move. He just decides to stay behind, and I think he's just waiting until it's straight to get the run and then make a move, because I think he maybe, if I was Claridge, I would maybe just wait until the home straight, make a move, but he can't afford to hang around too much, because he's got a bunch of cars behind him as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It seems that Dudignon and Claridge have very much the edge through the middle section, through the Lesmos, Ascari, etc., the kind of slightly slower parts of the circuit. But once we get up onto the banking, that's where Olenek and Trengarade just go bananas. It's like they've got another couple of horsepower in there as well. But look at this. Olenek now goes to the inside. There he is in the number 4 car with the black helmet up the inside of Dudignon. Has he got enough of a run? Oh, easy. Straight through he goes. But Dudignon now just tries to retaliate. Surely you can't. It's all one line here on the banking. Surely. But then you've got to be so careful coming over here, over the jump. Woof! Look at the suspension travel. Look at that. That's absolutely extraordinary. But here comes Claridge. Oh, this is narrow. Oh, my word. 3 wide here at Monza. And there goes Claridge up the inside through where the first chicane would normally be. And Claridge just, does he have it? No, he's hit the invisible wall of air. And Dudignon takes the lead.
Oh, fantastic stuff between these guys, and yeah, Dudignon manages to get in front. He gets sideways through the high-speed shortcut, and this is nerve-wracking. Oh
no, Dudignon's off! Dudignon's off. He's locked up on the brakes going into Lesmo, and he's gone onto the gravel. Now, can he rejoin and stay in the draft? He'll really have to push hard now, but I think he has just got away with it. So let's have a look. What happened to Dudignon there? So, he just gets a little bit of a wiggle on the brakes and coming into the first Lesmo. But I tell you what, if you're going to make mistakes, Ryan, that is an absolute masterclass in recovering from them. And do you know what? Dudignon's still well in the shout for this race. There's 8 laps to go, and he's still crucially in that lead pack. If he'd been a couple of tenths slower getting out that gravel trap, he was done.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the battle for P8 as well, and the battle's got Gary Teal, Severi Seppa, Chris Maricami, Xavier Sanchez, and Will McDonald as well. So not just battles up at the front, we've got battles in the midfield rather, and like the front, this pack is relatively large as well. As Severi Seppa looks like runs wide.
Well, Ryan, I'm wrong very often, and I've been wrong today. I said this was going to be a battle of attrition. It's been none of the sort, and I've never been happier to be wrong. This is just superb stuff from all the drivers up and down the field because they're running so close together at blistering pace at 200 miles an hour on this banking in a car built in 1967. Don't forget, folks, by the great Colin Chapman and Team Lotus, built for Graham Hill and Jim Clark, and well, they would be very proud of this motor racing right now. Look at those speeds, 340 kilometers an hour. Those Cosworth DFVs singing in an orchestra. Through they go then. Now, who's that having a look up the inside now? There's proof to your point, Ryan. The High Line is the one to go on the banking.
Yeah, the high speed just seems to be the one that you can catch. Oh, there's a go! Oh, over that jump, they got airborne, and
I'm glad, like I say, I can use a push-to-talk microphone. Oh, 3 wide, here they go. Right, back to the lead then. It's still going on here. And wait a minute, it's Ovi Trengrade and Rob Olenek. Claridge is back to 3rd. Price is up to 4th. Now, Dudignon is still there, but he's got a bit of work to do to make his way to the front of the pack. That's no easy feat. But Trengrade now at the front of the train. The Trengrade train. All aboard the Trengrade train right now. Now, can Olenek now get the run up towards Ascari? This really tricky chicane, sorry. Through this really tricky chicane. Watch for those sausage curbs, trying to get the car to change direction, and then up the gears all the way towards Parabolica. And for a very brief moment, Ryan, we have a little bit of tranquility, but it's not going to last.
Absolutely not, and I think it's the word is about to get shaken up yet again in the top 3 at least, as they're coming round to the home straight now. And I think the person in the box seat is Mick Claridge. He's, because of his gear ratios, the way it's set, he should be able to get the run easily on the Olenek and Trengrade as they ride on board with Claridge now, coming across the line, heading on to the banking, and he's actually not as close as I thought he would be.
I think, Ryan, that for Claridge to win this race, I think he needs to lead out of Ascari, or certainly lead into the modern Parabolica, because I think he's just got a superior drive off the corner. But watch this, he gets a brilliant double bubble run here, but he will hit this sort of magical wall of air. Look at that, see? he has to back out of it there, or it basically hits the rev limiter. And it seems to me that Trengrid and Olenek just have those gear ratios that little bit taller, and that's giving them that edge on the bowl section. However, in the shorter, more technical section, the more twisty sections, Claridge has got much more drive off the corners. Look at that, much more acceleration. Look at it, look at him go. Oh my word, that's gutsy. Here goes Claridge again, and now he goes through and takes the spot into the section where he has the edge. Brilliant stuff from Claridge, but he has a big wobble there. Oh my goodness.
He had a bit of a wobble, but he managed to hold it, and Rob Olenek was thinking about going for a move there, but he can't really do anything. He's come through this high-speed shortcut again, up to the first of the two Lesmos, and Mick Claridge in front at the moment, but I don't think he'll be there for long. And I agree, Peter. I think he needs to be in front and try and get the run heading on to the final lap. And on the exit of this second Lesmo, he seems to get a decent run, but Olenek and Trengrid are just waiting in the wings, along with Price and Papslowski, Dudion and Tyler.
Yeah, you can just see the edge that Mick Claridge has got, and he actually had it really, really good there. Just got through Curva Biazzano. He was able to hold the lead and keep those cars of Olenek and Trengrid behind him. And look at the gap he's pulling here. But of course, once they get onto the bowl section, all that gap is pulled in by Olenek and Trengrid. This is fascinating stuff here at Monza. So I'm sure Mick Claridge will have this strategy planned out. He will know exactly how to play this one. He's an absolute veteran of this car, former champion. And, well, it's that's what he, as we've seen there, that is exactly what he needs to do to win this motor race. He's got to lead into the Lesmo section, so we'll see if he's able to do that as we come back onto the banking, the old Parabolica, and here comes Olenek and Trengrid once more.
Yeah, and Claridge actually has got a little bit of a gap, about 0.6 of a second, but that will slowly come down as because of the slipstream. And look at the run on Olenek gets. He just gets that overspeed and manages to get the run on Claridge.
Yeah, he just blows by him. And I tell you what, Trengrid had a really big run there, but he actually had to back out the throttle to avoid running into the back of Olenek, and that sort of compromised his exit. But that is just such a vivid display of how different these guys have got these cars set up. But here goes Claridge again. He knows that with the slipstream, regardless of the gearing, but he's got to worry. He's got to worry about Trengrid on the inside. 3 wide they go, and Price is there. Where did he come from? He's just been ghosting behind, just watching this all going on, going, they've not noticed I'm here. I can just pounce on this. And there he goes up to 3rd place, the number 9 of Price.
Yeah, he's just been waiting in the wings, waiting to see what these guys are up to, and I think he's just decided now he can't afford to hang around anymore, rather, if he wants to try and finish on the podium. But I have to say, Peter, what a great way to kick off the new Grand Prix Legends series. Fantastic racing between this pack up at the front.
Absolutely first class. I've run out of superlatives to describe this. This is unbelievable stuff. As we see Trengrid leading up towards Ascari with actually a pretty reasonable, maybe 2 or 3 car length gap. We're speaking in relative terms, of course, but this is where Claridge is really strong. Through Ascari and then gets on the power and gets that car boogieing off the turn. Really, really important there, but he's got Price now glued to the back. Price has got his toe hook right into the back of that Cosworth DFV of Mick Claridge, but Trengrid out to a little bit of a gap here now. This is curious now, Ryan, because if Trengrid can get a big long run here and get this car wound up onto the banking, that could be critical.
Absolutely, and he's got a bit of a gap at the moment, and like you say, he just needs to hit his marks, and hopefully he can try and just maintain that gap. But again with the slipstream, that can come down easily around the 6.
Well, I think that is fascinating, because I think Trengrid has he might have just about broken the worst of the toe, and with that higher gearing, he might be able to build a gap. But look at this, it's still going on between Tyler and Teal. Sounds like an expensive brand of paint. Teal and Sanchez, my apologies. Tyler is further up the road. Goodness me, mistakes galore here today for me, right? Teal and Sanchez, my apologies. As we see Sanchez there, of course, in the number 5 car in those sort of Gulf colours. And quite a bit of damage there for teal, and whoosh, there goes McDonald to take the lead of this pack. So it's all going on all the way up and down the pack.
Yeah, absolutely. This pack as well has been really close together for most of the race. And as Chris Maricami gets airborne over that jump, and I have to say 10 out of 10 for style.
He's not shy, is he, is Chris Murakami? That's one thing for sure. Goodness me, 4 laps to go here at Monza. What has been a hair-raising motor race in, a car built well over 50 years ago. Absolutely exceptional stuff. But Trengarage still leads. He's just been able to maintain that advantage out front. Now, Claridge will really have to get a move on here, but he's got to worry about Rob Olenek, and also Roman Pawlowski is now starting to come to the fore with prices dropped back to 5th. Interestingly though, Ryan Dudignon's not been able to progress up the pack since his little off-track excursion.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe that mistake might have just unsettled him a little bit, or just he's lost his focus slightly, but he's not been able to remake that or gain that ground back up like I thought he would. He's been keeping in touch, but he's not made any progress like I thought he would. So yeah, a bit surprised by that, but nevertheless, I think something could happen on the final couple of laps. So he might just be waiting in the wings just to see what happens.
Quite possibly, yeah. Now this is interesting because Mick Claridge is just in the just in the path of Rob Olenek right now, and Rob Olenek gets a huge wiggle coming on to the high banks there with Roman Pawlowski in the classic Team Lotus colours, the period Team Lotus colours. But here goes Olenek now, goes to the inside. Claridge throws the block. Oh, Trengarid's in the dirt trying to break the toe, and all of a sudden here comes Pawlowski. He goes up high. Oh my word, this is super stuff. And I tell you what, the Roman Pawlowski there, he was very near.
Yeah, I thought that was going to end up in disaster for Pawlowski, as it looks like Olenek's got the run and Mick Claridge coming across the line. But also both of them have got the run and Ovi Trengrade coming across the line. This is going to get scary. Don't do anything silly, boys.
Well, interestingly, the Trengarage was able to keep Olenek at bay, and then Claridge able to sling it around the outside, but they just again hit the point where Claridge's car just seems to hit that invisible wall of air. It runs out of revs, and that's where Trengarage's car just has that last couple of percent. I know I'm labouring the point, but it's critical to the outcome of this motor race. They both have race cars that have advantages in different areas. Claridge's car, much better off the corners, much more acceleration, but Trengarage has just got those critical last few revs dialed into that Cosworth DFV engine. Very important, the way that gearing is set up, and that's allowing Trengarage just to stay ahead. But with 3 to go, can he convert?
We'll need to wait and see. And regarding Mick Claridge as well, it's a good point that our champion Rafael Dorado brought up in the YouTube chat. It's I think Claridge is maybe just playing a bit of a cheeky game, just waiting there, just kind of just playing that mindset game, if you like, just not go for the move straight away, just kind of just waiting there, if you like.
Ooh, that's an interesting theory. Well, hello Rafael, glad to have you watching. Hope you're enjoying this race. I'm sure you wish you were involved in it. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. So we're riding on board with the shoulder cam of Rob Olenek, and look at that suspension travel, and look at the run that Rob Olenek has got on Claridge, but he can't do anything with it. He's got to effectively back out. Now there's a little bit of a short shoot here. Can Olenek now make the move? He gets the draft. Claridge goes by, he's got the slipstream as well, so with the slipstream able to get past, and Trengarage is like, Dudignon, where did he come from? Dudignon, you cheeky man. Dudignon, we were saying, oh, he's sitting at the back of the pack, and then whoosh, through he goes. Oh, he's got some stealth paint on that car.
He has, and Peter, I can't watch this anymore. Tell me when it's over.
Oh, I'm glad I had my commentator's tea before today with honey. Unfortunately not Jim McGill honey, but it will be. I'll order it, I promise. 2 to go then. Well, This has been a race for the ages, that's for sure. As Dudignon hits the front, and Claridge is probably thinking, I thought I had you dealt with. And then all of a sudden he blasts by. You would have seen that bright white helmet going by and thinking, come on. So, game on. Well, this is where we're going to see if Claridge has been playing games or not. I have to say I'm not convinced, but it's a very interesting theory.
Yep, and yeah, this pack, I have to say, great respect, great credit to these guys. Rather, these guys have been, this pack rather has been pretty much together for the whole race, and there's been nothing to separate them. And again, I'll say it's been a great way to kick off the season, the first round as well, as yeah, coming round now to the back straight, and yeah, it's so hard. Though as Ovi Trengri gets sideways on the grass.
Yeah, Trengri just starting to wilt ever so slightly. 2 to go. He's got to try and recover quickly. Try and use that top end advantage as best he possibly can. He's got to position himself to use that attribute of his car and try and take advantage of the others where possible. But here goes Trengri. He's got a good run off the corner. He's got a good run on Claridge, but can he use it? Claridge weaving about slightly. Michel Dudignon does the fastest lap of the race underneath the pole position time, and he's trying to make the breakaway as we go on to the final lap. Can anyone catch Michel Dudignon? Remember, he's been in the gravel trap at the Lesmos, so now he leads this motor race by about the biggest gap we've seen the whole time. Yeah,
wondering. Oh, look behind the Claridge. Oh, we've got 3 wide going on. This is when it starts to kick off.
4 wide. Oh my! Oh, we're riding on board with in Dougie Beard's helicopter. Here we go. Oh my word! Tell you what, Michel Dudignon's got that car trimmed out as well, Ryan. That car is fast at the top end.
Yeah, they're coming over that jump now, and yep, everyone manages to keep control. And Ovi Trengri's got the run on Mick Claridge. Claridge has got the run on Dudignon. Are we going to go 3 wide? Are we even going to go 4 wide?
I hope not, because it doesn't fit. Oh my goodness me. Oh, looking back at Trengrid there in the number 6. Whoa! Oh, be careful. Oh, this is big. Oh, who was that that's gone out? Who have we lost? We've lost Olenek. Oh, we've lost Olenek and we've
contact
lost
again.
Roman Pawlowski. Oh, more contact.
Oh, with Trengrid's involved.
Oh, they're dropping like flies here. It was always going to happen in the last lap. Trengrid's on his lid. Oh, but now it's Claridge, Dudignon, and Claridge, just like what we said, he needed to get through before those Lesmos. Can he defend now from Dudignon? Can he get up to Ascari, get out a good exit out of there, and defend this lead and win this motor race?
Yeah, I'm not jumping away from this battle, but the person who benefited from that is in third place now is Bill Tyler.
Yep, there was always going to be winners and losers there, that's for sure. And all of a sudden it's a 2-car breakaway, but Mick Claridge does. He weaves slightly. Can he defend his position? Dudignon, is he there? Is he close enough? Is he going to have a look? He goes he's going to try and run it to the line. Here we go, around the Parabolica for the last time in what has been a race for the ages here in the Grand Prix Legends Series. Is it going to be Mick Claridge? Can he hang on? The checkered flag is in the air. Here he goes. Mick Claridge wins here at Monza by an absolute whisker from Michel Dudignon. What a motor race. Back to P6 we go, Ryan.
Yeah, P6 is going to go, I think, by the looks of it, it's going to go to Rob Olenek, who's basically got a back. Xavier Sanchez, sorry. Xavier Sanchez is going to take 6th with Marikami in 7th and Topi Cortineme in 8th.
Wow, what a finish. So we're going to try and dissect what on earth has just happened in this last lap here. So let's get our first replay here. So, Claridge is at the front here. This is what happens to Rob Olenek. He's just on the right-hand side there with the black helmet on the far back right. Now, he just gets a little bit too, should we say, over-enthusiastic and clashes. So, oh my word, Olenek actually just gets ploughed off. So Trengerade gets ploughed off by Price. Yes, so Trengerade there in the number 6 car. Look at Price hits him from the back. Oh my, you've got a feel for Ovi Trengerade. What could he have done about that?
Yeah, it's just one of those. It's just one of those racing incidents. It's everyone's just going at it hard, and yeah, it's just one of those things. Something has to give, and unfortunately, something did give. It looks like we're just about to go to the break now, Peter.
We are indeed. Do not go anywhere here on the Global Sim Racing channel. We will be right back with race results and driver interviews, which I'm sure will be entertaining. Welcome back to Monza, where we have been treated to an all-time classic race here in the Grand Prix Legends series here on the Global Sim Racing channel. What a privilege to watch and to call the action there with the other half of Double Scotch, Ryan Walker. Your winner then, Mick Claridge, wins by just 0.2 of a second from Michel Durignon. What a race. In third was Bill Tyler, who was a little bit of the profiteer of the last lap calamities, with Roman Pawlowski fourth and Dave Price finishing fifth. Xavier Sanchez finished in sixth, followed by Chris Murakami, Topi Kurtanemi, Will McDonald and Rob Olenek involved in that last lap wreck. Ryan, how did they finish outside of the top 10?
Yeah, the F2 champion from last season, Toko Hosada, finished in 11th with Robert Plumley, amazingly coming from 22nd, gaining 10 places to finish in 12th, so a great result for him. Jan Hoffman as well, starting 24th and finishing 13th, so a great progress by those two. Ove Trengrid, who was unfortunately involved in that last lap incident, finishes in 14th, Gary Teal in 15th, Severi Seppa in 16th, with Chandler Telleritu in 17th, 18th John Olsen, Jack Hobbs in 19th after starting 26th, and rounding out the 20 was Marco Kika.
Just confirming our last few drivers: David Shepherd, Colin Bentley, Yuri Geisen, Laust Olsen, Antonio Rees and Gwendolyn Old. Our race winner is with us. Mick Claridge is talking to my colleague Ryan Walker.
Yeah, Mick, that was an absolutely fantastic way to kick off the season for yourself, but also that race. That was just absolutely nuts. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was nuts. Qualifying was good. And then I just had a quick look down the timing sheets. First shock was Bill Tyler up there. Well done to him for qualifying so well. And then, yeah, I knew it was going to be a lot of cars in the lead group. So just headed off and just wanted to sort of try and stay at the front of the group, because you never know, something can happen sort of 5 or 6 cars down the line. As you saw with Michel, I don't know what happened to Michel on that lap, but a lot of cars could have been stuck behind him after he got back on the track or whatever, So things like that can happen. And then, the last lap, you don't want to lead on the oval on the last lap, so you're just going to be a sitting duck for the guys in the draft behind. So that was the plan. I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know whether I wanted to stay second or third as we was going around the oval, but I thought, okay, I'll just sit in second, let Michel lead there, and basically block over. That's what I did. And then when we went down into Curve of Grand, I've never been hit like that before in the Curve of Grand and saved it. I was so lucky to save that. And I don't think I had any damage after that, because I think Michel would have got me if I had.
Yeah, with it being like kind of like a long race, if you like, with some of the modern Grand Prix layout and the banking layout as well, what was the plan? Was it kind of just play the long game, or is it just try and stay at the front as much as possible? What was the plan?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to work out what to do when there's a lot of cars in the lead group. It's pretty easy when there's 2 of you. You basically sit behind the guy and just overtake him on the straight into Curve of Grand. But when there's 3, 4, 5, 6 cars all together like that, I've got no idea what to do. No one knows what to do. I'm sure everyone will be thinking, oh, I wish I'd have tried something else. But last night we did a race last night, and there was 3 of us in the group. And I actually thought to myself this morning, maybe if I just stay in the lead and slow right down, and I mean right down, and then bolt, almost like a safety car restart on Formula One. I was actually thinking of trying that. But yeah, mate, you don't know what to do. You don't know how to plan these last laps at this place. It's just insane. It's a shame it split. There was 52 cars joined up today or something like that. So should have been a huge grid of 50 odd cars, shame.
And with regards to the season, excuse me, what's the plans? Are you planning to do the whole season, or is it kind of just take it race by race?
It's sort of going to be a race by race thing this season for me. I want to do every race, but there's a lot of stuff going on, so I don't actually know how many races I can do. But yeah, I really want to be able to do the whole season. This is the season where everybody's here. I'm sure Raphael would have been here as well if he had a bit more time. But everybody's here now. This is the season to win. Really, it's going to be a really good one all the way through.
And in the championship as well, me and Peter were talking about it at the start of the broadcast. Who do you think are going to be the main people to keep an eye on? Is there anyone in particular you think it could be right up there challenging for the championship, or anyone that could spring a shock?
Oh, mate, obviously Raphael, if he practices, I'm not sure how much he can practice this season, but he'll be up there. Rob, all the usual guys, and Michel's back. He doesn't need to practice much. He's probably the cream of the crop, out of all of us, can just sort of turn up and be on pace in a day or so, So all of the top guys are going to be there, and I just looked at the chat, just as I was leaving the session, everyone's saying that they're going to be racing all season, so it really will be a huge battle all season long, I think. And there's some really good tracks this season. It's a proper battle season, there's going to be some wars going on,
And first or lastly, before we let you go, anyone you want to give a thank you or a shout out to?
Just you guys, you do a hell of a job putting out our broadcasts. And as always, I'm still going to say it, Nick Coachy, because I still wouldn't be racing if it wasn't for him.
Good stuff. Well, Mick, congratulations on winning the first race of the season. That's a great way to kick off your campaign. And you racing Summit Point next week?
Yeah, better than Okayama, wasn't it, a couple of seasons ago? Yeah, I'll be here next week. So, yeah, thanks a lot. See you next week, guys.
That was Mick Clara's taking the win in the first round of the Grand Prix Legends Series. And Peter, what a way to kick off the season.
Oh, that was special. Yeah, that was very, very special. And, I think anyone in that front group would have been a worthy winner, but Mick certainly was as well. I mean, absolutely superb. A game of chess at 200 miles an hour. Really, really impressive, and yeah, can't wait. It's going to be a very different prospect at Summit Point. Certainly need to change those gear ratios, that's for sure, when we get there, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun. That's all we've got time for today on the Grand Prix Legends Championship here on the Global Sim Racing channel. A huge thank you must go to the companies that provide the software and the hardware for our broadcasts, and they're listed here on your screen. An additional thanks goes to June Lalonde, who provides all of the wonderful music on the Global Sim Race channel. See the screen for how to get a hold of more of her great work. A huge thank you goes to the other half of Double Scotch, Ryan Walker, our producer Sean Ambrose, and Dougie Beard for all the excellent cameras, in particular Cosworth DFV camera, my personal favourite. If you'd like to find out more about us here at the Global Sim Racing channel, including any upcoming races, you can find that out on our website, globalsimracechannel.com. Or you can check out our social media, Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook at the Global Sim Racing channel, and Instagram at GSRC_Gram. You can even represent GSRC at the track by getting hold of some GSRC merchandise, and you can find that at gsrc.storeenvy.com. Don't forget to head on over to our YouTube page and hit that big red subscribe button as well, so you never miss a moment here on the Global Sim Racing channel. But until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.